After 20, it's execution. You're arrested 20 times. I don't even care the reason. Okay, once you get to number 20, you're done. Like permanently done. Your life is over. Here's a story that I think we're going to get, we'll get more into this next week, do a deeper dive. But NBC News has reported a man accused of setting a woman on fire on a Chicago transit train this week has been hit with federal terrorism charge, according to a criminal complaint. Lawrence Reed, 50, was charged with one count of committing a terrorist attack or other violence against a mass transportation system Wednesday in the Northern District of Illinois in connection with the attack Monday night. The incident unfolded just before 9:30 p.m. on a CTA Blue Line train. Security video captured the moment a man, authorities identified as Reed, walked through the train car holding a bottle and approached the victim, 26-year-old woman, and poured liquid over her head and then ignited it. While he was being transported to Detective Division, Reed made repeated, spontaneous, and unprompted utterances, specifically yelling, burn and burn alive, according to the filing. That's what he said. Now, somehow this NBC article, as I skimmed through it, neglects to mention the most important point, which is that this psycho has previously been arrested. Guess how many times? Guess how many times he's previously been arrested. If you haven't heard this story, just take a guess. 71. 71 prior arrests. So this arrest is number 72, if you're keeping track at home. This means that this guy was arrested 30 times, and by that point, hadn't even experienced half of the arrests that he would eventually have on his resume. This guy was like, he has, 70 times more arrests than the average person gets speeding tickets in a lifetime. Okay, like I've been driving for 20 years. I think I have 2 speeding tickets. Basically one, I'm good for 1 a decade. He has more than 30 times as many arrests as I have speeding tickets. So, there are a million ways to put these numbers in perspective, but the main point is that obviously it should not be possible for a person to be arrested 71 times. That should not be a thing that happens in a civilized society. It should be mandatory life sentence after, your 3rd felony arrest. And those laws are supposed to be on the books in some places, the so-called 3-strike laws, but they've been watered down almost everywhere so that they're basically not in effect. But really, forget about mandatory life in prison. It should be a mandatory death penalty at a certain point. I don't know, maybe after your 10th arrest, let's be generous and say 20. Okay, if we're not going to have mandatory life sentence after 3, then okay, after 20, it's execution. You're arrested 20 times. I don't even care the reason. Okay, once you get to number 20, you're done. Like permanently done. Your life is over. Okay, if you can't keep your number of arrests down to 19 at a minimum, then you just don't deserve to live anymore. You're not fit to be a part of human society. We can't afford to keep you around. You're a danger to society. You're a strain on society. You've made it very clear you don't want to be a part of society. And so at a certain point, like at what point can we say, okay, you don't want to be a part of this, fine, as you wish. At what point can we grant these people their wish? They don't want to be a part of civilized society. So at what point can we say, okay, we catch your drift. We got the message. We'll give you what you apparently want. So there's a lot more to say about this story, which we will in the coming days. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.